and welcome to the Luxury Lounge. That's right, every Thursday we head in the lounge, we shut the door, and we air our grievances with the world. And there's no grievance that's too big or too small or too frivolous. It is your problem, and it shall be heard. Now, I want to thank you for coming to the Luxury Lounge. I love the Luxury Lounge. It is some of the nicest feedback that I get from all of the things and rantings that I do. Thank you. Thank you. I know that, like, husbands and wives listen together, boyfriends and girlfriends, all groups are listening, friends are sharing, and you're writing in. I love your emails, and I have to say, your emails are thorough. They're great. There's some great complaints today. I really enjoyed reading them before the show. Keep sending them in, jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. That's jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. Title it Luxury Lounge. Give us a little taste of what you're going to be talking about. And then, let's keep it to, thumb to pointer finger. Make a little bracket with your thumb and pointer finger. That's the length, but be thorough. I know, this is a tough homework assignment. Be thorough and concise? What? This is Jared. Come on, it's an oxymoron. I always love knowing the word oxymoron. I feel like that's like a great word to know. Like, it makes you sound smarter, but you've known it forever. Everyone knows that word. Okay, I've already announced the special has been picked up by Netflix. We're taping out of order, so this is the first I'm really saying it to the JTrain audience, but I will have said it on Monday. But it's because of the audience here. This doesn't happen by accident. This doesn't happen because, I'm, funny. Laughs in the room. People can only laugh so hard. And then there's a lot of comics that make people laugh really hard, but not a lot of comics have people like you. So thank you so much for being a supporter of this podcast, being a supporter of me. It means the absolute world, okay? And so enough with the thank yous. Now, some more homework. The special comes out August 15th. I want you to watch it, enjoy it, laugh at it, and share. Let someone know. Make it your Instagram story. Just the same way this podcast is able to grow, I want the special to get seen. What I'm told is, and I'm going to let you behind the Netflix curtain, and again, this is kind of hearsay, the first month is very important. After that, it's just kind of on there. But the first week is more important than the second week, is more important than the third week, is more important than the fourth week. And then after that, that's who you are as a Netflix comedian. I want this to crush. I want it to end up on every algorithm. I know that you have a very different algorithm than maybe Joe Rogan bro. I kind of have this assumption. That's a good thing for me because now I'm going to show up in places like, if you like Selling Sunset, you might like Jared Freed. I think that's a good thing. This is something I've been thinking about a lot in my dream of all dreams. So I want you to watch. I want you to share. I want you to have watch parties and all that stuff. August 15th. Mark the calendar. That feels ridiculous. You don't even know me, but I'd like you to. But I understand why you're like, go fuck yourself. I want to listen to your podcast. Okay. Go watch. Enjoy it. Your parents, all ages. And enough already, Jared. I'm also on the road. So not only do I want you to watch my special, I want you to come to my shows. I keep asking. I'll give you a show soon. The road. We'll get to the road dates. Let me introduce my guest. I'm very excited. OKP to the podcast. Have you been in the lounge before?
First time in the lounge.
First time in the lounge. I'm so excited to have them here. Maddie Wiener, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
How are you? What's going on? You did the Ick show with me.
So fun.
You were fantastic.
Thank you.
Isn't it fun? The people came up to the mic, gave their icks.
And people had good, very specific icks where I was like, oh, you're not like, here's a pet peeve of mine. Mm-hmm. You're like, this is a man I met that I did not sleep with, and I decided this exact moment.
Right. That's like that's the fun of it, and that's what makes as you go on the internet, you find these people that come yell at you. The men that get angry about it, it's like, you just don't get it. Like, it is, they get angry about it as if every woman's going to fuck them that has ever met them in their entire life. You're like, no, and like sometimes people like try to get me. Like, I don't know what to say to the ones where they're like, he yells at The Bachelor. I'm like, yeah, I would expect you not to want to fuck me.
I wasn't doing that to get laid.
Right. You mean to tell me going on the Instagram and yelling at people dating each other on TV with nobody else in your apartment didn't turn you on?
I'm sure there's ladies out there who are like, this is my thing.
Right. Well, that's the thing about that's what makes a great ick is it's
Yeah.
one person's ick is another person's husband.
Yeah.
You know, and so it was a pleasure having you on. I want everyone to go follow Maddie. Maddie is one of the funniest people in the world, at Maddie T. Wiener. I love watching Maddie on stage, and I love having you on this podcast. It's a pleasure. Are we ready to do some complaints? Because we want to, let's give these people the sauce. Shelby, I'll go first. Hit the music. Jared, he has some problems. Jared, he's got some issues. Did you never hear? You never heard that? To get off his chest right now. Jared has a lot of issues. Jared has a issue with a lot of things that we can discuss. Can you relate to the problem now? Okay. Yeah.
My new ringtone.
I love it. So here's my complaint. I don't know if this is an outside of New York City thing, but I ordered delivery Fro-Yo. Okay. Have you ever ordered delivery Fro-Yo?
Just the sentence itself, delivery Fro-Yo, is
fancy.
The height of luxury.
Right. I literally just stuck my arm out of the door and grabbed a bag from someone who had my delivery Fro-Yo waiting. It is one of those things that if you've ever delivery Fro-Yo, you're making a deal. You're like, I need drugs. It's a drug call, because you're not doing delivery Fro-Yo at like a good time or when you need it or when you're starving.
Or like because your friends are over.
No. We're not having a Fro-Yo party. It's an alone, darkness Fro-Yo eat.
You're getting the Fro-Yo and you're putting in a syringe straight into your veins.
That's exactly the way I did it. Last night, I got back from shows. It was like 10 o'clock, which is relatively early for us. And then I'm like, I had some dinner and I'm still sitting there like, still just needing a fix. And you get on that, you're like, I got it in my brain. I can't get rid of it. So I go on Seamless. And here's the thing, if you've ever ordered delivery Fro-Yo, it's the most expensive thing you've ever purchased in your entire life. It is the dollar per ounce average is like crazy. Like, you know how they do that thing where they're like, a New York City apartment is $4,000 a foot.
But this compared to like a Columbus, Ohio hamburger is like worth its weight in gold.
Right. Like literally you go, and you try not to say it out loud to yourself, but I'll say it out loud. Listen, we're in the luxury lounge. We can say whatever we want here. I will tell you how much I spent on this Fro-Yo. And I got a small, okay? Shelby just exhaled with are you okay, Shelby? Not a delivery. It's not a delivery food. Here's the thing. Here's how luxurious it is. It is a hot summer night. It is humid. You are basically saying, I don't care how much it's fucking melted. I get to my syringe right now. And honestly, you hope they have the delivery device to carry Fro-Yo, but maybe they don't, and you're taking that chance.
I used to be a delivery driver in college. I drove for DoorDash, and you realize that it's so just up to whatever random dude picks it up. Like I had like a cooler, like I was good about it, but it's like, oh, this is just getting in a random guy's car. It's luck of the draw.
And that's the thing is like, what if you think of incentives, which I believe in as an economist, as someone with an economics major from Penn State, from a state university, excuse me, I believe in incentives, and there's really no incentive for the DoorDash person to have a cooler. Like that's nice of you. You're getting the same 15% tip. Like the tip is marginal, the return. So I ordered. So I'll give a shout out. It was very good. I didn't even know this place existed. They're open till 2 a.m.
Huge.
Holy cream. Is that supposed to be like holy shit instead of HOLEY? Is that holy? How do you
EY?
Yeah, what's
like
Holly?
that's like hole. Like there's a hole in it.
Oh, holy
right?
cream because it's a donut and ice cream place.
Oh,
and
cute,
so
cute.
Right, it's very cute. It's very West Villagey. It's also like as someone who's like a nighttime eater, like that's trying to like have the Fro-Yo, but also like stay good. Like you're doing that. You still have in your brain like I can't be bad, so I'll get the Fro-Yo, not the ice cream. I had to wade through the thoughts of maybe I'll have a donut. You know, like I had this was fraught with issues. You know, from minute one. So I got their creamy vanilla fat-free frozen yogurt. Ooh. Okay, it was their only Fro-Yo.
Oh, really? So you're not okay.
This is an ice cream.
You
shop.
chose the healthiest thing,
right? I'm gonna get my fix, but I'm gonna do it as well as I can do it. So I got the and not what I wanted. They had a peanut butter chip that I was like,
ooh, that's dangerous.
Oh my God, I would have been like just all over me. It was shot in my face, just the whole thing.
I mean, I even think it's impressive that you opened seamless and didn't go straight for like Ben and Jerry's pint, because that's my like 3 a.m. Let me just stuff my face.
Did you get it delivered?
I'm embarrassed to admit that I have a few times.
You're in the lounge. There's
it feels like calling an escort. I'm like, ooh, Ben and Jerry's pint at 3 a.m. I'm being
Come on
naughty.
Over. Threesome. Ben, Jerry, and I just gonna go down on each other. So I get the creamy vanilla ice cream frozen yogurt, a small with peanut butter cups as a topping. Okay, it comes. I ordered it at 11:25 p.m. It got delivered 11:25 p.m. I ordered it. It came very quickly. I'm like, everything's going according to plan. This little cup comes. It's about yay. I could actually send a picture to Shelby. We'll post a picture because I took a picture of it, and I'll show it to you. And it comes very small.
Oh, wow.
But next to it, comes with it, is the toppings on the side. This is not what I want to do. I'm not looking to be the salad maker at the chopped salad. I want the toppings on the ice cream. And listen, I will say...
What am I, a farmer?
What are you right? What am I doing here? This is farm. I gotta make my own. And here's the thing: you did get more Fro-Yo because it wasn't in the cup. I do appreciate that it was filled to the top. I sent the picture to Shelby. He's gonna post it on YouTube. I do appreciate that it was filled to the dome. It went full domage on the Fro-Yo. You know that the cover, as you'll see, is a dome cover. It filled the whole dome.
But I will say, luxury complaint off of that is like, if I'm at a place in my life where I'm ordering food at 2 a.m.,
right,
I'm not in a place emotionally to go get dishes from my kitchen and unpack it. I'm like, I want to just eat it in the thing that it came in.
Right. I'm not doing the Cold Stone chop, 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 chop. I'm not pouring it out on my own
marble slab.
Right. What do you think is going on here? It's 11:30 at night. Put it in the fucking bowl with it. So now also I have this thing where it's filled to the dome. I have to undo it. And to put toppings onto the ice cream Fro-Yo, onto the Fro-Yo that it falls off the side. I'm not doing this with a mixing bowl under it. Like I'm doing this on my bed. I planned on having this in bed.
Wait, so what did you end up doing?
I had to go spoonful of yogurt. I was literally, doing my eating in pieces. I was going spoonful, holding it in my mouth, get me a piece of a shard of a peanut butter cup so that it would make a good bite.
Oh, you were doing it bite by bite.
Bite by bite.
A microcosm of the whole thing.
Right. It was a broken down version of what I really actually wanted.
And now you're basically having to do math.
Right. Exactly. I have to save enough cups to get to the end of the Fro-Yo, which I did not, sadly. I was left with more Fro-Yo than cup. And listen, if you order delivery, if you like delivery Pinkberry, if you order like that side of stuff or like 16 handles, 16 handles delivery is like the craziest because you go, I'm going to do this like I'm at 16 handles. And then what you quickly realize, you're like, wait a minute, why did they bring me 17 cups of toppings? They do this there too. And listen, I will say for creamy vanilla, fat-free frozen yogurt, small peanut butter cup, how much do you think it was?
Oh my God.
Hold on. How do I see how much it was?
$13?
View receipt. How much do you think that was? That was about 4 ounces of Fro-Yo, 1 ounce of peanut butter cup.
Oh, then maybe even less. Like
with
9,
tip.
13?
You're close.
Close?
You're close. If we were on The Price is Right, you'd be doing well because you didn't go over.
Okay.
$15.57.
Wow.
That's
crazy.
It's crazy. That's probably $1 a bite.
You should send them an invoice for the labor you had to do
Right.
of loading the toppings
Where's
back
my
on.
tip?
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of food, we're sponsored. Feel your best this summer. Instead of greasy pizza and that bag of chips you found in the back of the pantry, try Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating clean. Choose from over 50 weekly menu and market items for a healthy diet your body will love. It couldn't be easier. Just order once a week from Green Market's awesome selection of grab-and-go breakfast, brunch kits, lunches, snacks, and dinners that appear right on your doorstep. I gotta say, I really love this if you're trying to get healthier or feel healthier. I mean, I get sent Green Chef stuff all the time. Here's the beauty of it. And I'm someone, again, Fro-Yo with peanut butter cup. I'm trying to do the math on how I can eat as fun as I can while also staying healthy. I just told you a whole story as, fun Jared, but a little Fro-Yo. I didn't go all the way. This is a great way to be fun and healthy at the same time and stay calorie kind of smart, because what you're going to do when you want to eat healthy, what do? You go grilled chicken, salmon, grilled chicken, salmon, and then you run out of steam. You're not creative enough. You're not good enough at cooking. This is a way to get creative and to stay on it. The longer you're getting creative, healthy options, the longer you're going to stay with your goals and what you're trying to do. So Green Chef is now owned by HelloFresh, and that's a big deal. You're going to have a wider array of meal plans to choose from. There's something for everybody. Counting calories or look up to up your protein intake. They have everything, and you can switch between brands. Now my listeners can enjoy both brands at a discount. So you're going to get HelloFresh, Green Chef. This is great. Go to greenchef.com/JTrain50. Use code JTrain50 to get 50% off plus free half off. That's free money, people. JTrain50 to get 50% off plus free shipping. That's greenchef.com/JTrain50, code JTrain50 for 50% off plus free shipping. Here with Maddie Wiener at Maddie T. Wiener. I want everyone to go follow, get involved. Maddie, it's the cool thing is when I first started doing this podcast, I used to bring guests on. And I would say to people that they're holding our rookie card. They get to say, I got to meet this person when. You're meeting Maddie Wiener maybe for the first time. You get the rookie card. You've already been on Comedy Central. You're already super successful. You're killing it. But like that, because I've had people this week, and it's really warmed my heart being like, I had the rookie card. When I said I'm doing Netflix, they're like, I got the rookie.
So cool.
It's really cool. And we enjoy that so much too. Like, yeah, that's fucking amazing. So go follow Maddie. Hit the music. Let's get to Maddie's complaint. It's the guest's turn to complain. They're ready to jump in. They've got lots of problems too. It ain't all about Jared. Let's hear. Yeah, I want you to watch my Netflix special, August 15th. But I also want you to follow Maddie T. Wiener.
I'm going to be watching the special.
Maddie's going to watch it. She's already seen half the jokes.
It's amazing.
She's going to turn it on and get the full play. Yeah, go play it every day. I don't even know if
every day. Get 2 laptops, stream it at the same time.
Like a DJ.
Cut back and forth.
Right. Go back and forth between me screaming and me yelling.
Hit the space bar so he's like,
right.
I was walking the other day. And then
right. Yeah, I like that. Go to your complaint. Let's hear it.
Okay, my complaint, definitely luxury. I don't know how many men own Lululemon products, but it's about Lululemon. Do you? Mm-hmm. Are you a fan generally?
Here's my issue with Lululemon.
Yeah.
I can only fit in their Dob kits. So that
they're what?
Like the only thing I fit in is hats and their Dob kits is like I fucked up the joke. They have a your toiletry bags. Like, that's the only things that fit me.
Accessories. That's like me in middle school going to Urban Outfitters and only buying like the funny joke books that are like
cool. This is fun. Love Urban.
Yeah.
No, I fit in there. Lululemon. The problem I have is I'm between a large and an XL. What happens is if I do the XL, it's too long. They do have a new type of shirt that I've been wearing to work out, and I'm like 3 pounds away. Like from like not having to stretch it out 7,000 times. So I do want to be a Lululemon person, but I want them to like, I need to be their fit model. Like I need them to like size their things
Yeah.
according to me. But I do like their pants. I do like their the joggers, and you can actually get your stuff tailored there. I've heard.
Really?
My brother told me this. I'm not sure if it's true, but I do think they offer some sort of tailoring for their products.
Wow, I am not in that tax bracket.
Listen, I think well, I think they do this. Don't quote me on it, but I would like to hear if people have had experience with, because the shirts, if I get an XL, it's just too long. It just looks like I'm wearing a dress. Like
Yeah, and then when it's also athleisure, it's like it is a little silky, like it could be a dress. But it's interesting. I almost think women have the opposite thing where there's a little more flexibility because it's meant to fit so tight that I can go like a little, like it doesn't matter they're 3 pounds off because it's like, well, I can go a large and it's like, then it hugs you and it's good.
Right. And there's also this element of like, you know, like lifting there's a lift.
Yeah. I mean, this is my oomph shirt, like for sure. I love how it fits. Like I love how Lululemon fits.
Okay.
But that is not my complaint is, and it's expensive, but I would be willing to pay it because I'd be like, it fits so well. This is such a good like
fit over. You know, I don't care what the brand. Yeah, everything.
Everything.
Fit is everything.
I will pay more for fit.
Right.
The problem is, I had these Lululemon leggings for maybe 8 months and just ripping at the seams, and not because they were too small, just like the friction, they would start to pill up.
Right.
And then they tore, and I was like, I gotta throw them out.
That stinks. Is there a special way to wash them? Is that part of it?
Oh, maybe I should be washing them more delicately.
Well, here's the thing, and this is, you know, I'll jump off of your complaint with an observation. Like I wash my stuff, but I do it in the shortest amount. I'm not like, I always wonder how much is my version of washing clothes different than the woman I see doing laundry for 17 hours.
There are people who like camp out at the laundromat.
Camp out, and then they're doing things. I'm like, I don't even know what you're doing. Like, I don't even know. They're separating things in a way. They have like one thing in one wash and then like 30 things in another. And I'm always wondering, I'm like, maybe they have this understanding of like the Lululemon products where they're like, no, I'll just leave it out hanging for 30 hours. And it's like, who has the time? Who has the luxury of being like, oh, my Lululemon stuff? No, I just spread it out on the floor and I don't walk on it like it's lava, you know?
Absolutely not happening.
Right, you're throwing it in, washing it, and getting it out.
I think bras, you're supposed to like let air dry. I'm washing my comforter and a thong in the same thing and just putting them in for an hour, and I'm like, it'll be what it'll be.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah. I'm really like, it's a one size fits all.
How long have you had the Lululemon leggings?
Probably 8 months.
That's not long enough. You gotta
That's not that long of a lasting.
If you're not lasting more than 2, I think leggings 2 years.
I think so too. It's like jeans. It should be like jeans, and for the price point, I think it should be like jeans.
Right.
Yeah.
So, can you bring them back? Could you do that?
That is, I think maybe it seems like a store where if I was like, hey, love your product, I was like so sad that like I feel like they would replace it.
Right, because you would be talking to another woman who worked there who has done that too.
She would start tearing up. She's like, it's like so sad when that happens.
This is the worst thing that's ever happened to both of our lives ever. Like,
everyone that works at Lululemon, I'm gonna walk in and they're gonna be like, don't say anything. We listen to Luxury Lounge. Right. Okay, we are on the same page.
It does look like everyone's working there as a favor. Like everyone there looks like they've never had jobs. Like they have no wrinkles or anything. You never see someone working at Lululemon that's like, what do you want, kid? Smoking a cig. I don't know who you see when you see that person, but like I just don't.
That's so funny.
Doesn't it look like they're just the most beautiful people in the world? I went into an Aloe. Have you been in an Aloe?
No.
It's like walking into Elysium. You are like, what is going on here? Like it's above Lululemon.
Wow.
It looks like you walked into like the richest friend you grew up with's house and you're like, do you want me to bathe before? Is there an outdoor shower before I come in here?
That's always so weird when you go to a really fancy store and it's like everyone who works there is hot.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know how this is legal.
Right.
But you only hire hot people.
Right. And it's like
beautiful people.
Right. What are they paying you? You know, like I thought this was retail, you know, like.
Yeah. How are you getting like facials and like.
Right. And how are you allowed to hire that way? You know, like. I worked at Abercrombie when I was growing up.
No way.
Yeah. And,
oh my
and
God.
I never watched the documentary, but you heard like, oh, they would put people in the back, and then they put the uglies in the back and the hotties in the front.
No.
And I was in the back. I was a back monster. Yeah. Back monsters unite. Yeah.
I've had that same thing with restaurant where they're like, you're in the kitchen, and I'm like, I guess I'll never be a stripper. I guess I just don't have what it takes.
Well, Maddie Wiener, we're so pumped to have you. Everyone go follow Maddie at Maddie T. Wiener. Let's get to the complaints. You ready?
I'm so excited.
Let's do it. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Just title the Luxury Lounge. Let me know what you're talking about. Luxury Lounge, spitting in plants at Home Depot.
Oh my God. Okay, wait. I used to work at a Home Depot.
Really? What did you do at Home Depot? What back could they put you in?
Yeah, I'm like giving you a really weird backstory. I've done other things too. I'm not
Right.
like, I drove for Grubhub. I worked in a kitchen. I worked in Home Depot. And I bought Lululemon. And I love Lululemon.
Yeah, you are not on there. Like, they didn't see you as a shopper. What are we going to get? What product can we create for our Home Depot kitchen worker DoorDash delivery
They gave
people?
me defected pants. They were like, get her out of here.
Right.
You can have these for free. We don't care. They're going to fall apart in 2 days.
What did you do at Home Depot?
I was at the customer service desk. And
That's the nice part of Home Depot.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I was like the face of like, hey, people would come with their returns, but it would be contractors. So people would be like, I need to return $10,000 worth of like pipes.
Right. And that's the thing about Home Depot that you kind of lose track on. There's two different worlds going on. There's two different what do they call on Marvel? Like a timeline.
Like cinematic universe or like parallel universes.
There's parallel universes going on at
yeah.
Home Depot. There's like people getting stuff for their new home, and then there's hardened contractor where every dollar matters to their life.
Yes, and they're so strict about it. And we were like the fourth biggest Home Depot in the country. So it was
my God.
if you are building something in Chicago, you're coming here. And if we messed up, I'm the person who has to be like, I'm so sorry, let me get you your $10,000 back. So
Right.
I'm fascinated to hear like...
Well, customer service at Home Depot, it's so funny how different a group you could deal with. Like, and I don't think there's people that would have no idea that this is like contractor universe. That's like it's like Planet Contractor.
Totally.
Like they all
it's the
come there.
seedy underbelly of like...
Guardians of the Galaxy, when they go to like, like that one, you ever watch, I like love the Marvel movies, and the Guardians of the Galaxy, they like go to this like seedy underworld to like,
Literally, it's like that.
right. That's what Home Depot is to these contractors. They're just like, hey, Phil, like, can you get me some, some nuts and bolts, like in the underground market? I could save you 20 cents, like. Yeah, so hi, Jared. Love the pod. I always listen on walks with my dog. Look like a crazy person laughing to myself. Hope to see you in Salt Lake City soon. I love Salt Lake City. I would love to come back. I'm sure it'll happen. If you watch the Netflix special, me being, if I turn into, I don't want to be that guy. You don't want to, please watch. But I
No,
do,
but watch it. I'll be that guy for you. Watch the special.
Thank you. My husband, and that's the thing. I want people who are here, you're here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mean to get on this tangent, but you're here. Like, I need you for your data. I'm becoming Google, like, like I need you to tell someone you don't even know who they are, because your version of doing things will get other people who do things like you. If you bought this, you might like this. I want to be the you might like guy. It's called 37 and Single. Did I even say that?
Oh my gosh, I don't think so.
So it's a very clickable title. Like, listen, I'm birthed I was born in the internet world. I was shaped by it. I've been doing clickbaity headlines my whole life. This is my whole one moment to do a clickbaity.
It was all building to this.
To 37 and Single, to make the most clickbaity headline of all time. Okay, so I digress. My husband and I were in the garden center at our local Home Depot last week. Again, another part of Home Depot with very different, this is husband and wife. Should we get, lilacs or, azaleas? And then there's another guy be like, I need 7,000 tulips for a job I got coming up,
People hauling trees on their backs,
Right.
like truly.
Right, not even Santa's.
It's a summer Christmas tree.
Right.
It's sad.
It's for a kid who doesn't even get winter Christmas. Okay. So local Home Depot last week. My husband and I were in the garden center at our local. Limpy Mike. My husband and I were in the garden center at our local Home Depot last week when a man spit a huge wad into one of the potted plants. Horrified, I glared at him and said, "That is disgusting." He looked me in the eye and replied, "What? It's tobacco. It's natural." That's a crazy response.
That was a contractor.
Yeah. These are two people that were never meant to meet unless one was hired by the other to do a job at their home. Right? The idea that these two are in public together with no transactional opportunity.
If there's no financial contract, the interaction is doomed.
It is him being himself. And her being herself, being like, "My word, we don't do that at the local country club." And him being like, "What the fuck? It's natural."
Also, natural? What do you mean it gives you cancer?
Right. Also, spit is natural. You're spitting in public. Not just public, indoors. Indoor spitting. You can't, this isn't natural or not.
And not even into the woods, into one pot in one plant that someone's going to buy.
Right. Would it be okay? By that kind of logic, is it okay if he was like, had an apple and was like, "Oh, this apple's gross." Just spit the apple?
It's natural.
It's so funny. What is it? Tobacco. Oh, it's not. And continued to rant about how tobacco is a plant from the earth. And he spits in his plants all the time. His plants. We don't care about your plants. This is very much my dad's argument. Natural! Like my dad would do a very similar argument. First off, I didn't even realize it was chew spit until he went on and on about it, but was simply grossed out by the fact that he was spitting in plants at Home Depot to begin with. I eventually cut him off and said, "Do you, man? I eventually cut him off and said, "Do you, man?" Got him. I don't know. I don't know if that got him.
I think you admitted defeat.
Yeah. Do you, man? Yeah, I am going to do me. You want to do that on your own? You want to do that at your own home? Fine. But in a plant that someone is going to buy and put their hands into, what the fuck? Second, I'm also not sure that chew is very natural, even if it's derived from a plant.
That's a really good point.
Right. But whatever. You said that it's still tobacco. Yeah. It was produced. Yeah. There was no rationalizing with this guy. Yeah, I don't think you're going to rationalize. Sincerely grossed out plant enthusiast. Yeah, I don't think you're going to like get this guy who spits in the plant at Home Depot isn't going, "Wait, I've seen the error of my ways." Right?
Oh, my bad. I thought this would be cool. Right. Oh, I thought this out, and I thought it'd be cool if I spit in the plant.
Right. Oh, my God. Oh, you're right. I'm 50. I'm going to learn how to... This
guy's not 24.
Right. Or 14. 14, you go, "Oh, man, well, I was a real stupid kid." This guy's in his 50s. Oh, you're right. This is why I wasn't invited to the cotillion.
And he's going, "Lady, I do this every Tuesday. Right. This is the one thing I have. Don't take this away from me."
You know what's depressing about this? These are people that we have to live amongst. Like they live in our everyday lives. They vote in our elections. Like we used to think you had like this common ground. People, we all want to. The one thing you can really only count on one thing now is that everyone has one thing in common. They don't want to die in a horrific way. Like, I guess that's the only thing I can think of is like we have in common. Because like you see this and you go, like you think you're gonna get this person to agree with you on like gun control. Do you know what I mean? Like, where do you have anything in common with this person?
Yeah, there's no way we're going to, like, talk about tax reform, and you're going to go, "Sorry, 1 second, I got to spit in the plant real quick."
It's disgusting. Oh, my God. Is it? We're
That's
sponsored,
upsetting.
people. Maybe this guy could use... It's tempting to pick up some random brand of erection pills. When you're at the, what a change of direction we
I did the whole story. I pictured that guy rock hard.
Right. He was probably on joy mode. We love joy mode here. I do love it. It's tempting to pick up some random brand of erection pills when you're at the gas station grabbing a snack, but save yourself the headache. Most of the ED products on the market aren't great for you and come with a whole host of annoying side effects. When you're looking for a good time, try joy mode. Okay. I know this is a little awkward to admit. I've used joy mode just as like, and it was with a partner that I was like, this sounds like I'm lying, but this is the truth. It fell out of my bag, and they were like, "What's that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's like this thing, sponsor the podcast." And they were like, "Ooh," like it changed the mood.
Whoa.
And I think that's my encouragement to you out there. It does add excitement. Like what, I believe in what Joy Mode is doing. It's best in class scientists and PhD biochemists. The sexual performance booster contains clinically supported doses of arginine nitrate, L-citrulline, Panax, ginseng, and vitamin C. So it's natural and science-backed sexual wellness supplement for men. Take their sexual performance booster before getting down and dirty to support erection quality, firmness, and sex drive. What I can say to you, it changed the atmosphere of a hookup. So if you're out there, you're a woman, man, whatever you identify as, it's going to improve the tenor. It's going to make things more fun, just mental. We forget the mental side of sex sometimes. Men especially forget the mental side of sex. It's very mechanical for men. This is a kind of a mood changer. And I would say that to anyone that's like looking, if you're like saying, what am I going to buy? Joy Mode. I'm a woman, working woman. Have it in your place. You will get more excited. They will get more excited. I think everyone's going to be very happy. You just tear up a packet, mix it with 6 to 8 ounces of water, drink up anywhere from 45 minutes to 4 hours before sex. So I can't speak to quality of stiffness. I can speak to it clicked the night into a different mode, which I think is cool. Want to spice up things in the bedroom and boost your sexual performance and do it naturally without nasty prescription drugs? We got a special offer for the JTrain audience. Go to usejoymode.com/JTrain or enter JTrain at checkout for 20% off your first order. So that's real money. That's usejoymode.com/JTrain for 20% off your first order. Okay. Maddie Wiener, at Maddie T. Wiener. Go follow. Get involved. Luxury Lounge. Listening to an audiobook is not reading. Are you a reader, Maddie Wiener?
Yeah, I have started again recently because I found out I really like nonfiction.
Really?
I could never stay in fiction. I would get distracted, but I started reading nonfiction and I love it.
What's your last nonfiction book?
Oh, I read How to Do Nothing by Jenny Odell.
What does that mean? I mean, that sounds like a fiction book. I mean, it wasn't like the War of 1812.
I'm not reading like history, but it's like it was a book about like how to like curb your like social media addiction, basically, and like the benefits of that. And that was like really interesting.
What's the one thing that you kind of took away from that? Because I mean, listen, I am on there to the point where I go, Jared, this is making you feel bad.
Yeah, it was really messing with my mental health. I feel like the takeaway I had was, I can't just put my phone down and do nothing. If I'm going to put my phone down, it needs to be because I'm going and engaging with something else, whether it's other people or nature or like sitting in nothing is hard. But if you put it down because you're doing something that's more present, then it's like that engages you.
I guess, sorry to interrupt. I guess the point of that is like shifting your perspective from like when you're on your phone, you're like, I'm doing this because I have nothing. So you go to nothing, but you're really doing this to do something.
Yeah.
So you should do, you have to go into doing something.
You should do a real something. Right. Yeah.
That's a good point. I had a quick annoyance I wanted to bring to the lounge. I've recently noticed people mentioning that they've read blank book, or blank should be read as blank, or blank should be read as blank. Okay, I can. Thank you for the direction. I got cues in the email.
Oh, they said that?
They wrote, I want to bring to the lounge. I've recently noticed that people mentioning that they've read blank book, which is how I read it. They go, blank should be read as blank.
Hilarious.
That's funny. Thank you, Mom. This has to be a mom.
Jared, and just so you know, it means blank.
Line with nothing above it. Yeah, I know. Do I present that stupid? How stupid
Jared,
do I
look?
A
book is a thing that you...
Oh, the line with nothing above it. Oh, I thought that meant line. Thank you. I've recently noticed people mentioning that they've read blank book. Later on, I realized they mean that they listened to the audiobook. I love a good audiobook. So the complaint isn't about the concept of audiobooks, but rather the semantics. Factually speaking, reading is when your eyes look at letters and your brain processes the info. Listening has nothing to do with your eyes. Thank you for letting me air my grievance. I totally agree. What do you think, Maddie?
Oh, completely agree. Also, because if
it's a
listening, your mind could wander and you could come back in. But reading, like if you read it, you got every word. So I do think like if you read a book, you probably got a little more out of it.
Because I respect book reading. I don't read. This is the reading I do every week. I get through a page. I get, and it's weird because you're like, how do you write if you don't read? I've listened. I've thought about this a lot. I'm like, how do I do what I do without ever having read? Like, like, how could you be a good comedian if you've never read?
If you can't read or write.
Right. What do I do?
It's all physical comedy.
I am doing that as well. I'm not above that. Because I was thinking about it, I was like, but I have been a good listener my whole life. I've listened to radio, talk radio, podcasts, audiobooks. I tried and I would zone out too much and I couldn't come back in. Is what I realized. Like I can come back into a radio show way better. Like this podcast is kind of my idea for it, and with all my podcasts, is it's always a reset. There's always a reset. So we always come back to Luxury Lounge, JTrain podcast at gmail.com. I do that on purpose because I believe it's a bookmark for people because I need the bookmark. Oh, I missed that last email. Let me rewind. Oh, that last email wasn't for me. I'll go to the next one. There's always another chance for redemption on this podcast. Or you could listen the whole way through and you can love the whole thing. I hope that's the case. I can't believe that. I don't have the confidence to believe that. So when I see, me as a non-reader, when I've ever tried to read, I fall asleep after one page. Like if I really wanted to go to bed, read a book.
Yeah.
One page, gone. Like gone. Like eyes drooping. So when someone says I read this book, I like you just said you're read just the sentence. I'm reading a lot of nonfiction. I was like, whoa. Am I allowed to be in the room with this?
Okay, Miss Glasses.
Right. Ooh, yeah.
But I think you're right that like listening to an audiobook or a podcast or anything like that, it's the same thing as reading in that it's exposing you to ideas. Like it's like,
right.
I agree with this person that I'm like, nothing against audiobooks. If that's how you get it, that's how you get it.
Right.
But I do get the difference. But I also think with stand-up, it's like stand-up almost is more similar to like a radio show than a book because like stand-up written out would be so weird.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Did you have to do that when you like a Comedy Central set?
And you submit the transcript.
Right.
And you're like,
weird.
Is this what I say every night?
Right. I sound like a fucking idiot. Yeah. Like, yeah, it is bizarre. But also they are trying to acquire a certain elevation for how they're perceived. I read a book is higher on the chart of who we think is smart than I listen to an audiobook. I'm not saying, whenever I hear someone say I listen to an audiobook, I'm not moved in either direction. Like, I'm not like, idiot. Like, but I'm also not like, whoa, excuse me. Right. No, but when they say I read a book, they're trying to acquire a certain status. And it's actually, they should be called out. Like, I actually think we should start putting, like we've got to give badges if you actually read the book. Remember, like in grade school, like you get like you get like awards for reading like a book. Remember, people get stickers,
adult stickers.
Let's do adult stickers. Let's get some stickers out there. I listen. If someone walked around, they look like a general. They had like a whole, and it was the amount of books they actually read. But you have to write a book report. I do think like.
Adult book report.
I want adult book reports. This is good for. I'm improving the economy. Ready? These teachers are always looking for money. These grubby teachers always looking for extra money.
These selfish
right.
teachers.
These teachers they have their wish lists. You should, and so they're always looking for money to like buy supplies. How about this? You can earn extra money by grading adult book reports so that people can get a badge for that they've read books. And then they can walk around like a general with like all their designations. We'll have like levels of books. Wouldn't that be great?
So good.
Right.
If you were at a bar and you were like, oh my God, you're purple level?
Oh my God, like Sergeant Nerd. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. We're here in the Luxury Lounge here with Maddie Wiener at Maddie T. Wiener. Go follow immediately. Luxury Lounge, forced self-checkout. Jared all the feathers, writing a simple but deeply irritating complaint. I, like many Americans, have seen the self-checkout counters overtake regular cashier lines at grocery stores. Usually I'm forced into waiting in a long cashier line or going through a tedious self-checkout process, looking up produce and manually entering quantities, random glitches that require an employee override, and unpleasantly trying to bag groceries myself. Not to mention trying to wave down an employee for alcohol purchases. I mean, my God.
Yeah, that's...
Over here, I'm a lush.
I'm a grown-up.
Right.
Please give me the passcode.
It's horrible. I decided to wait in a longer cashier line today to avoid stress and possible delays. An employee came up to me and said, "Let me help you," enthusiastically. I was excited to move to her checkout line until I realized she was going to a self-checkout spot. I felt super awkward as she attempted to scan my groceries for me and told me, "No worries, I'll do it." I can't be the only one who thinks automation can be worse. Can be a worse user experience than hiring real people. Mm-hmm. You have the person. We have all the things to make a cashier.
It's a really unnecessary step.
Right. This is me eating Fro-Yo and then also eating the peanut butter cup topping separately.
You deconstructed it, and we didn't need to. It could be one thing. Although I do like in this email I, like many Americans, like we're at a town hall, and it's and I do think it's that level of an issue.
Well, I mean, AI, automation, this is all scary, and we also are liking it at the same time we're afraid of it. Like, I don't think anyone is happy about self-checkout other than nerd losers who don't like speaking to people.
They should call it that. That'll deter people. Nerd loser line.
Yeah.
Do it if you want, but you're a nerd loser. Yeah.
And then one bully giving you a wedgie on the way out. Welcome to Nerd Loser Line. Good luck with your groceries. Frankie will be waiting for you at the other end. Yeah. I just...
Do you ever have a thing where you're like, you know what? I'm going to we need to have more in-person interactions. I'm going to be quaint, and I'm going to go back to the cashier. And then you go and you're like, this sucks and it takes long, and I don't like it. I get what we did. You know what I mean?
It goes both ways.
Yeah.
It totally goes both ways. It's like we are floating towards our own destruction happily on a lazy river raft. It's
a lazy river raft going right off of a waterfall.
Right, exactly. And you can feel it. Like I do take off my headphones before I go into places. I do like interacting with people. I do feel better about myself, and I'm a happier person when I interact with people, which is it takes a minute to realize, in the same way that you're talking about going on your phone is actually doing something. You have to realize, you have to be a person who is purposeful and is trying. Like, you're not the guy who's spitting in a plant inside and then going, "It's natural."
Yeah.
Like, you have to actually want to work on yourself to be a little bit slower and more thorough in life. And it's stuff like this where it's like someone comes over and is like, "Let me help you out." Like, they would have been the best cashier.
Yeah.
Now they're kind of good at something that no one wanted to do in the first place. Like, now that person doesn't have self-worth.
Yeah, and we're communal creatures. We're supposed to be helping each other, and that feels really good. And when you lose all those little interactions, it's I actually agree that this is it's a deeply profound problem of
sad.
You don't realize how many little things you're missing by not interacting with people in small ways on a daily basis.
Right, and it's and their point is the point always comes to, it's going to be good one day. But but right now it sucks, and I wish we had the old way until the new way was ready. And it's how about we just stick to the old way? What are we? We're going towards something that we imagine to be the case, that we're going to go into a line. There's this imaginary world where people think we're going to take your cart, put it on top of a weigh scale. They're going to go $14.50, and then you're going to go put it off the cart, and then they're magically bagged with a robot hand. And maybe that's the case. I don't think that's a better world.
You know which one's really scary? Have you seen at the airport, the Amazon stores where there's just cameras watching you, and you take whatever you want and it charges you?
I hate that.
That one really scares me. That's where I'm we've gone too far.
Who wants it? That's what I wonder. Whose life was listen, I understand.
Finally.
Right. I understand. No one wants to go to the grocery store. No one wants to wash clothing and separate, whites from colors, all those things. But was life that bad before? We do have a lot of time given back to us, email and calls. We can work from home. We've gotten time back in other ways.
Yeah. What are you going to do with all the time?
Heroin. You think we have an opioid crisis for no reason? Every time I see a self-checkout, I think that's one more opioid fucking addiction. I'm not even joking.
Oh my God, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
It's the truth. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast gmail.com. Shelby, how much time we got here? We got time? A couple more? Where are we? We're good. Okay. People talking on the phone at my pool. Took myself on a solo date to see you in Chicago. You up live and laughed the whole time. That makes me feel so goddamn good. The You Up Live show in Chicago was fantastic. All of them were fun, but Chicago was really fun. I look forward to that and this pod every week for my hot girl walks and runs. You're my dream man, just an FYI, shooting my shot. I don't give a fuck. Whoa, hello. My complaint today involves people talking on the phone at my building's pool. I'm in my mid-20s living in Chicago, and I'm a ICU nurse. Well, thank you. Wow. I work 3 days a week. So since I have more days off than a normal 9-to-5 person, I have the luxury of spending most of my summer afternoons by my pool or the beach. So grateful. I love this.
That's so cool.
Especially Chicago. You lived in Chicago.
Oh, my God. Summers in Chicago.
It's like 3 weeks, but it's the best 3 weeks of your life. Like,
you just got to pack it in.
That beach with what's the bar that's in the shape of a ship?
I don't know if I've been to that one.
Maybe it's not there anymore. We went, and I remember I was like out of college. It was like our first trip with like a bunch of guys from college. We had the best day. Summer Chicago. It's called Castaways. And it was this big boat bar and just fucking awesome. And we ended up meeting up. There were these, it was like 10 of us. It was a Sunday, like, you know, a perfect Sunday where everyone's just drinking, we're hanging out. And there were these like 10 girls in like pink Wayfair sunglasses, and like we went and talked to them, and then they were like talking with us. We're all like in our 20s, and then we were like, "What are you guys doing?" They're like, "We're all at that house over there," and like they pointed across like the lake, and we all went back to their place. And literally, I'll never forget it. It was like a Bud Light commercial. We opened the fridge, just top to bottom Bud Lights. My buddy turned on the radio. We just all started dancing. It was like the Roaring 20s. Like,
we're never gonna die.
We're never gonna die. 3 of them died. No. No, it was like,
yeah. Then you hit Chicago winter, and you're like, none of us are gonna make it.
Right, it's over. We need no, but I that day, like summer Chicago. I'll always think of that day and just the fun of it. And I'm like, man, and especially in Chicago, like the attitude is like, when people are having fun, they're like, we are having fun.
They really appreciate it. Yeah,
totally. My complaint today involves people. Oh, we did that already. Q, I don't want to be okay. Spending my summer afternoons by the pool or the beach, so grateful. Q, I don't want to hear people saying I work only 3 days a week. It's a really hard fucking job. No one, you're in the lounge.
Yeah,
you're an ICU nurse.
Yeah, ICU nurse. We're comedians. Right. We're not going to be like, your job's not real.
We're sitting here talking about spitting in plants. However, lately, when I'm at my building's pool reading, relaxing, not thinking about nursing, multiple corporate people come out on their laptops, clacking away and talking on the phone at the same time. Sometimes there will be 4 people talking on the computer, all spread out amongst beach chairs, so it's all echoing. This is like hell on earth.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. Also, I thought you were going to say it was people like talking to their family, but it's like work calls.
Yeah.
Boo.
Even when they're not clacking away, they're up on the deck pacing in their swimsuits around acting like they are Kendall Roy closing the Gojo business deal. Most people keep to themselves and really don't make a peep out of respect to one another. Our building has sent out rules but doesn't have anything regarding talking on the phone. I understand a random phone call from a reservation appointment when you have to confirm quickly over the phone and it's a 10-second call, but not when you're on the phone talking fake corporate words or to your BFF about your boyfriend problems. I don't care to hear you talking with your coworker about what can I do on my end for this account's quarterly deadline. Read the room. What do you think? This is horrible.
The business calls especially, I'm like, bummer, killing the vibe. Also, who wants to go to the pool to work?
Right. It is this like half-pregnant lifestyle that we're all trying to go for. It's very millennial to me. Like, I want to work from home, but at my pool, and I'll be at work, but I'm not at work. But
you're never fully working, and you're never fully resting. You're just kind of always in between.
We kind of do that as comedians. We do that thing where we go, well, I'm going to go to, I just went to Nantucket. You know, like you go to Nantucket and it was for the Nantucket Comedy Festival. Doing that show on Saturday, I was like, what am I doing? I could have just come here and stayed at a cheap hotel and been on Nantucket. You know, you do have that thing where you never fully enjoy.
And you're like, I'm with my friends, I'm having fun. So you kind of forget that you're like, oh, I should take days off too.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you're right. So this group of people, they're trying to have it all when really they'd be happier. And you can't go up to them and be like, go in a fucking dark office. You'll like this pool more when you're hanging out and on your phone doing other things other than, you know, buy, sell, funny money, boom, bah. You know, like, you know, so I think...
Well, it's the same mentality as the Chicago summer. It's
right.
People go so hard because the winter is so brutal.
Right.
But if you don't have that contrast.
There should be a section of every pool. And it's funny, you and I thought the same thing. Like, there was no thought in my mind of like a business call when I saw the title. Like, I was like... listen, because I only talk to like my parents.
Same.
And it's like the loudest, most annoying call, but it's like a parent call. Like, hi, what's going on? How is it? No, it is cold. It's raining there? What? You're breaking up. Like, that's my whole parent call. And that would be annoying to be next to at a pool, but you wouldn't understand it. You go... hey, they'll get off and they'll be done with parent call within 10 minutes. When it's a business call, you don't know when that ends. You know, you don't know when, and you don't know, and I do understand Chicago has this more than I think most places, this thing I have to let people know I'm a working guy. Very Chicago to me. Because you always, and you're like, what are you doing? You're in the Midwest. It's not, you know, this isn't, the state of the world ain't happening here. You're selling fucking... you know, coffee grinds. Like, who the fuck cares?
It's not Wall Street.
Right. You're miles from Wall Street, okay? You're closer to the weenie circle than you are Wall Street. So it's like, you don't even believe they're doing something that's making them a lot of money. You're making okay money for the Midwest. You're at the same pool as the nurse. So
you're at the same pool as someone who works 3 days a week.
Right.
Which no shade.
No shame on... Listen, we thank you for your service.
Yeah.
You know, pots and pans. But I do that.
Pots and pans.
I do that every time someone says they're a nurse. Pots and pans.
Thank you for
I think that was a New York thing only.
Pots and pans. That's so...
Pots and pans, kitchenware. Good for you. Now let's move on. That's my funny
my kitchenware to you and your family.
Yeah, but it's like, there's the belief. It's like, we don't think you're closing a deal. We don't think this is the moment your life changed. Listen, I have a Netflix special coming out August 15th. I may have mentioned it once or twice. Now, watch it, DJ it. So when I got the call about that, it wasn't like that's the biggest deal close of my life, right? I wasn't like, and you better tell the people at Netflix that they better get on the line because I need this money right now on the account. Like, it wasn't a loud call. It was like, hey, it's gonna go down. We got an email, and I went, okay, thank you, and clicked the phone down and sat and cried in the middle of Hudson.
Oh.
That's not. I wanted to make it more romantic. I wanted to make it, more. Please watch the special.
For the love of God.
We're doing this podcast in a studio apartment next to my bed. I need this. So, okay. No, but I do understand, like, it's this belief. It's like, if you thought it was Kendall Roy, you go, oh, big things.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, I just don't believe any phone call is really, like, ending in... I used to say this to my brother all the time. My brother, like, he was sleeping on my couch before, like, going on his, job journey, so to speak. And I would always say to him, I was like, oh, I'm 4 years older, so I've already gone through, like, trying to do comedy. And I said to him, I was like, there's no moment in life where it's someone stood up, looked at me and gone, you got the job. Like, it's just never that. It's always a little by little. So... yeah, for this person, they're a piece of shit. And they should shut the fuck up. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Maddie Wiener, this was fantastic.
This was so fun. Thank you so much for having me.
So much fun. You are amazing in the lounge, amazing on stage. At Maddie T. Wiener. Go follow, get involved. The rookie card. Have that card. It's such a cool... I said it so long ago, and I meant it, and now it's like... even when I did the Tonight Show, I went back and watched the set because, I just watch myself every day. I don't watch anything else but myself.
I don't read books. I kind of just look at my own face. And this is all I need to know right here.
That's right. I got all the entertainment I need. No, but I went to the comments. I just went to look at it, and there was someone wrote like all the people with JTrain rookie cards. Like I was like, oh, that's so sweet, and it's true. So everyone go follow Maddie. I'm Jared Freed. We're here every Thursday in the lounge. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Back next week. Boom.